Welcome to Intimacy 101, featuring Andre Blaylock and Michael Williams. And what we try to do here with this podcast is bridge the communication gap between the sexes, and we try to cultivate a solid foundation that bears fruit. Now, with this particular conversation, Michael and I were interested in talking about successful people and how success may have an impact on your dating experiences. So sit back, relax, and comment below if you have any feedback. Hope you enjoy. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of He Said,
She Said.
Right, where the men are always right.
Or so they think.
Yeah, and we're trying to bridge the gap between communication styles and everything. Well, at least try to.
With the sexes, it's all about men and women learning how to communicate and understand one another.
Exactly. Well, I'm excited about the show today.
I am so excited. This is actually our first podcast episode with guests. We have done other shows with just you and I, but it's our first with guests. So
absolutely. And
just switch it up a little bit.
And we got some powerhouses too.
We do. I'm really excited about that.
I'm excited to hear what Jeremy has to say. The issue sometimes with very successful people is finding their match, because sometimes there's a power struggle. You know?
I agree.
And sometimes just knowing how to submit, because sometimes we think that's a very... See, look how you just balled up like aluminum foil.
I'm listening. Keep going.
Yeah, yes. So sometimes it's hard to
so that's submit. The first word he threw out.
Yeah. But to submit, there's a power in submitting, right?
Yes. After love and leadership comes submission.
That's why somebody's still single. Okay, so I tell you what, let's introduce our guest.
I love that. Okay, so today I'll go ahead and introduce the lady of the hour. And today we have Miss Tarji Carter, and she is amazing woman from the Franchise Players. She's actually an entrepreneur, which we love. We love entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur as well. And she teaches people how to do franchises, Black people, how to get started on owning franchises, owning their own businesses. And so tell us a little bit about that, because that's phenomenal. I've noticed that you're on flyers, you've been on in infomercials. I've come to a couple of your speaking engagements, and I'm loving how you're growing and doing this on your own.
Well, thank you, Michael. So I've worked in franchising for about 20 years now, and noticed that there's a huge disparity when it comes to ownership.
Yeah.
So I just feel it's my duty to teach everything that I've learned to our community on how to get into franchising with your eyes wide open. So yes, we've been featured in a lot of publications, Black Enterprise, Forbes, on the Creole with Mark Lamont Hill. Okay. And so any place where our community lives, works, plays, and worships is where we go to teach about franchise ownership.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Now it's my turn here to introduce the one and only Darren Davis.
One and only.
In your own words, give us your bio.
Thank you. My name is Darren Davis. I moved here to Atlanta in 1998. Went to college. Got a job right out of school, I still consult in the pharma industry, biotech. And when I tell people that, they tend to think that I'm in sales, but I'm not. I'm actually in research and development. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing that for approximately 28 years. Okay. I also pride myself of being a jack of all trades. So that's how I kind of got into real estate. Own multiple properties here in Georgia, as well as in Alabama, which is my birthplace. Additionally, I am part owner of the largest Black-owned dispensary in the Chicago metro area. And we're slated to do big things. We're actually also in St. Louis. We actually have another store in Illinois, and we will be opening up 4 more dispensaries in the state of New York late this year in 2025.
Okay. All right. Michael, let's get into some of these questions.
I love it. So today's topic, what I've noticed, and a lot of women on our Intimacy 101 page, hey guys watching, a lot of the women say it's pretty tough to find a man as far as successful women. And they always say, well, I'm successful. I've climbed the ladder. I've done all of the things to be successful. I'm making the money. I'm doing my thing. But finding that compatible partner is more difficult. And a lot of them say they feel like sometimes men might be intimidated in a way by their success and might be thinking that, well, she's got it all, she doesn't need a man, which I don't know too many women who say that, but I feel like they're talked about like they project that. So I wanted to talk to you, Tarji, about that. And in your relationships, have you found that as you've grown more successful, that you find it more challenging to find that perfect love, that soulmate, that soul tie?
I think it is challenging, but I believe that the conversation needs to shift. Everybody's so enamored with what's on the outside, the 6 figures, the 6-pack, 6'4", whatever. You can have all of that.
Love
and
that.
You can be 5'7" with a flat tummy and all the things, right? But you said a word earlier, it's about compatibility.
Absolutely.
Having the tough conversations about what it is you truly want in a relationship. And if they're the right partner, then they'll be the right partner. But if you all don't want the same things at the same time, because timing matters also, then there's always going to be a disconnect. And it doesn't mean that he's a bad guy or you're not a good woman. It's just that there's not a fit. And so I think we get stuck on our own insecurities play a role in, this person doesn't want me, so there must be something wrong with me.
Okay.
Instead of saying, you know what, this just isn't my person, and I wish them well. And so the sooner I get to a no, I'm like, okay, that yes is coming eventually, but I haven't always had this mindset. Just like a lot of other people, I went through what I just mentioned until I did some internal work on what it is I truly want, what lessons I've learned from previous relationships, and what do I truly want going forward, not what do I think I should have based on what my circle thinks I should have.
Good.
Yeah, that's interesting. I love that.
Now, Jaron, as a successful man, what are some of the things that you look for? I can't see you being intimidated by a successful woman. I don't think that, I'm not going to use the term real men or whatever, but there's nothing a woman can do to make me feel emasculated.
Absolutely not.
Because I know I'm a man.
Absolutely not.
Right?
Correct.
So it's like, what do you find most challenging trying to date successful women in the 21st century?
I think this is a great question. I think first, we kind of need to define what's truly, success. What does that mean for each person? I define success as someone who is able to navigate life, live life on their terms. I find that often women who deem themselves successful, they lead with the accomplishments. And for men that at a certain level, and it kind of seems that a lot of women want the same guy, like she said, the guy that's 6 foot, 6
all the
pack.
big sixes.
Yeah, all the sixes. I think most men don't truly care about those type of things. Men that are at a certain level, they don't really care about that. Can you speak life into me? Can you motivate me? I think once we start to get away from God's grand design, He created a woman to be a helpmate. Doesn't mean that she should be subservient. It means that in her natural role, she's supportive. And she is able to complement the man and take care of all the things that he is not charged with taking care of.
I fundamentally believe women control access to sex. Men control access to relationships and marriage. And a lot of times when a woman is successful, she's like, I have this. But like Jaron said, to a successful man, if I have all that, so I don't.
And I can understand that to an extent, but as well, you have men who ask you, what sort of things you do, and then when you go through, okay, a lot of times the women that I've talked to feel like they have to minimize, what they do.
You have to date a person's and marry a person's mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to entertain somebody who doesn't see what I bring to the table as an asset for us.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's in competition with me because of my success, they're not the person for me.
Yes.
And it was nice to meet you, and I wish you luck. Because what happens is now I have to minimize my successes. And it could be something simple as, oh my gosh, I got a raise, right? If I can't come and talk to my mate about that, I'm definitely in the wrong situation. So it gets harder because you become more successful because there aren't a lot of men who are out here achieving at the same level as women, right? So we get our heart broken and we go get another degree, or we go get a better job, we go to the gym, and there are a lot of men who are feeling that, mending that broken heart with another woman. So they're constantly chasing sex while we're improving our lives and we're leveling
It's that glow up. It's that after breakup glow up. Now he sees her 10 months later. She got a new look. She got a new car. She got a new job.
So the 666s, right? There's not as many.
And my question about that is, do you both think, I mean, when you are out there hustling and you're a woman, do you think that presents more as masculine to men?
So my question would be, how do your accomplishments, how does your hustle, how do they help me? I really don't care about your money. I don't care about how many houses you got. I don't care about, all that stuff that you do that's external. And I think a lot of times sisters that are driven, have a lot of accomplishments, are doing things that are, kind of like on their own, out of necessity, because they have to. They don't have any other support. They still bring that to the table when we're dating. Like if you meet someone, it's almost like a competition. They'll ask you about you and you're just talking. And then it always feels like they have to one up you,
But what if they are doing better? Because sometimes they are doing better, honestly. I mean, I've dealt with guys who were good and they were doing a lot of things and I was doing more.
Who cares?
No, but I mean, if you're discussing each other's lives, you should be able to say what you're doing.
No one's saying that you should not be able to verbalize that and to articulate that. But again, how does it help me?
Is it about how can that benefit you?
I don't care about your degrees.
So does that mean that men should only date women that aren't doing as well as them?
That means that they should just pick someone who isn't on that level so that she could be that support, because a lot of times in 2025 women have their own careers. They're at work, they're not home to support.
If we're going to be honest, most women don't want that man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Women rarely date down.
Right.
But a brother, she can be on fries at McDonald's.
Yep. That's how we talked about it. Everything is about money, degrees.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like the most important thing in life we didn't have to pay for. You can't buy. There's a difference between preferences and standards, right? So some women like 6 feet tall, 6 figures. If I can't get that, I'm lowering my standards. Meanwhile, 5'7" dude who has a $45,000 a year job, who's respectful, who's whatever, you don't want him.
I dated that person.
Me too.
Right?
Which one?
I was engaged to that person.
$45,000. He was content with nothing.
I think that was
his
my
mindset,
problem,
right? I mean, I say that, but he was content with exactly that. He didn't need more. He wasn't trying to do more. He was content with his $45,000, and after taxes, I don't know what it was. But we were very limited in what we could do. Even, just like when we went to the grocery store, like I saw how he shopped, right? It was very limited. I'm someone that says, okay, $45,000, that's a great starting point. And I would have conversations like, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to go? How do you want to grow? And his mind couldn't even think past that.
I think the assumption is that everybody is supposed to level up their homes.
Right.
Some people are going to be employees. So I think that from this conversation, everybody's not meant to level up. What do you think?
I agree with you 100%.
I agree.
I also find it rather interesting that nobody is talking about character. Nobody's talking about respect. No one's talking about loyalty. I'll go back to 2020. I got sick. I didn't have COVID, but I had pneumonia. And I was put in a unit. No one could come visit me. I got all this money in the bank, beautiful home, travel the world, all that. But at the end of the day, what does all that matter when you don't have someone to share with, and you don't have someone to support you?
Yes.
Being successful, driven, you can kind of have like an A personality. I personally don't think that that's the best way to conduct yourself through 100% of your life. You need a balance. You need someone to say, okay, you worked all day, let's bring it down. You don't have to bring that into our home. You don't have to bring that type of energy into our home. You know what? How about we go take a walk? People that tend to be successful, or I should say men, I'm going to speak from a male's perspective. Those are the things that I personally look for. I think most men look for. And I think it's somewhat sad that we don't get back to those things that don't have to do with, bossing up. So it's just
the question was, what if he was 5'7" and made $45,000? Would you still date him? So that's why I think we were talking about the salary piece of it. But you're absolutely right. Yeah. There's a lot of character that you need to be looking for.
So what advice would you give, Jaron, to successful women who are seeking meaningful relationships?
Take a survey. 10 men. What do you look for in a woman? And compile the data. And if the vast majority of things that they're saying, ask yourself, can I rock with that? Is that really my personality? Can I really do that? Because I find it ironic that a lot of women ask men what they look for, and then men tell them, and they go, "Do they really?" Yeah, I'm telling you. You asked me the question. I'm telling you exactly what it is that how we think, what we want. And what's that old saying? When a person shows you who they are, or when they tell you who they are, believe them.
You define it, Target, same thing. How would you bridge the gap between what we're talking about? What would be your piece of advice?
Yeah, that's a question for you.
There's a lot of unlearning we have to do. I think, I know this is probably it's probably frowned upon, but I think therapy is helpful for everybody.
Absolutely. Especially in our community.
In our community, there's a lot of trauma that we've dealt with, and then we just kind of go from person to person trying to see if this is the one that's going to fill the void, right? Instead of sitting still with ourselves and really figuring out, why am I the way that I am, right? Pause in between relationships. I would say it's okay to take a break in between relationships.
That's what I'm doing now. I'm so excited.
Praise the Lord. I would say put in some effort to get to know people, and don't just paint everybody with one broad stroke, because we're all very different. And stop saying y'all women. We're not all the same. We're just not.
Love that.
Jaron, debunk something from a male's perspective as we deal with successful women.
That we all want to be womanizers. If you're successful, that you're looking to have 2 or 3 on the side. I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't have the energy, nor the time, or the inclination. I'm looking for one solid woman that can support me. I can support her, and we're doing our thing.
As a communication strategist, here's something that I think might work for a lot of people. If I'm dating Michael, and she's successful, my partner's my business partner as well as my lover, my Uber driver, my confidant, sometimes my counselor. So I can look at you and I might have to be like, you know what? Girlfriend, wife, could she go to the bedroom because I need to have a conversation with my business partner? And my girlfriend ain't gonna like that. She ain't gonna like this conversation. And then we could discuss that issue, but what we do is we look at the person as a totality. You got to learn how to address the individual part of that person that you have an issue with.
Love it.
And make sure that they're emotionally mature enough to see the difference.
Yeah, I love that. Looking at the entire picture, but also dividing it up into it. Yeah. Look at us having these grown folks conversations. Well, you guys, you tell us what you think out there in the intimacy audience. Do you think that women have a harder time finding love and success? Or do you also think that maybe it's something where there's just a lack of communication and we need to learn how to understand each other? Sound off in the comments below, because we want to hear what you have to say about it.
And until next time, y'all, see ya.
See ya.